Welcome to this reading in which we will take a look at what skill you need to practice right now. And the decks that Spirit have chosen for this reading in particular are very Cancerian in their energies to me, to my experience. And so that suggests that we are also speaking about a time frame in this reading where you are being asked to devote yourself to the practice of this skill. So from now up until the middle of July, and they are clear with the middle of July, so not the exact end of Cancer season, because it will start to wane a bit there from the middle of July. And I would think that this has something to do with the transit, Jupiter now being in Gemini and then moving into the sign of Cancer. So I have already set an intention for this reading because this is a retake. I had an incident with one of my cats. She's fine. But we are just starting straight ahead and moving right into it. So, message number 1. Welcome to your reading. So the skill that you are being asked to practice and devote this time to is tarot. And Oracle also leans a little bit into this, but it is a heavy focus on tarot, where you are being asked to study and understand the structure, and also understand the structure from your own point of view. And now this also extends to teaching for some of you in here. And this is why it is so important that you really double down on this practice, because it is bigger in you and your personal experience. And even for some of you, what was it that I received before? Let's see if I can remember, because this is a retake. It might show up. Let's dive into it. So I drew a card before when I did the reading the first time, starting out. And I drew a card from the Kali Oracle Pocket Edition, and you received Sri Bala. Commit entirely and without hesitation to your most passionate inspirations. There are genius and wisdom in what you yearn to do. You have a greater capacity to attain fruition than those around you may recognize. Believe in yourself even if no one else does. It is not imagination that drives you toward your destiny, but the instinctive recognition of your true purpose. So this is a big one for you. This is real heavy lifting for you, because you are being called to take this professionally. For some of you are supposed to have this as your own, but developing this skill nonetheless. And so this time is really also about building your confidence in reading the cards and understanding the cards, the meanings, and the story that connects the cards here. Let's see, I feel like there's something else. They want for me to linger on something here. So you may doubt yourself, or you may, more than anything, doubt this path, the possibility of this path. And it is possible for you, but it comes down to you believing in it, making the necessary choices and taking the necessary action steps and being prepared to do a lot of work if you are to take this professionally. But it is most definitely possible, and it is also possible to bring in help and mentorship also to aid you in this process. In fact, it is even encouraged, especially if you are to take this professionally. Okay, so we have some questions here, a sort of spread. Want to know if they can tell us more about this, about practicing this skill, understanding the tarot. There's something coming to my mind about the different systems, and if you are to go professionally with this, and they're saying something about Lenormand and Thoth, that you can add this into your repertoire. If you are beginning with the Waite-Smith system, you can then later on add Lenormand and Thoth into your practice to keep it fresh, to keep it spicy, and to keep challenging yourself so that you don't get bored with your practice. And you will know when it's time. So, Four of Swords, you have been sleeping on this, essentially. And so, let's see how to phrase this. There's a possibility for more, but perhaps you have been scared, or perhaps you have not believed in yourself enough, or perhaps you have really felt it necessary to pause and take a break once in a while to reorganize yourself, your emotions, your thoughts around this path. But you have been sleeping on this a little bit, and now it's time to really get moving, because now is the time to develop this skill. It's a very fruitful time for that. And I feel like we need a pull from the Oracle of the Mermaids here as well for some advice. The Selkie and her skin. Reclaiming your authenticity. I'm going to connect in with this one a moment. So the feeling of being different, perhaps you can relate and connect to that experience. And this is something that is actually one of your strengths, if you can see it in that way. So if practicing tarot and even making it professional may seem like it makes you like a goofball, don't worry about it. You will come to appreciate the oddness of this path, and you not being like everyone else, because you have a different story to tell. And it's interesting to be unique. So if you have thoughts around this, you will definitely turn that into your strength. And leaning into that, it is also important to develop your own voice in this tarot landscape. And so that you are not just repeating phrases that other people are saying, which will make you like a parrot, but you are developing your own language, your own voice, your own energy that is true and authentic to you. So, how will this skill benefit you? 10 of Cups. This is ultimate fulfillment for you, and an experience of being one with the divine and with spirit, which is soul food for you. This is food for your soul. There's something deeper here though. They are connecting it back to you being different or feeling odd, and how that will benefit you here. There's something about how you will see the world and your life experience differently. You will move in wonder and awe much more. You will still have struggles, you will still experience pain, but there is an element of wonder and magic that will surround you even more throughout your day-to-day life here. And also the sort of ultimate fulfillment, the ultimate purpose, and perhaps even legacy here. And so challenges with practicing this skill and how to overcome them. We have the Ace of Pentacles. The challenges are about starting over again. If you can recognize yourself in starting and then stopping the flow and then starting over again, because you will want to look for a continuous flow where you are steadily developing this skill and becoming greater and greater and greater at it. And when you are starting and stopping the flow, it doesn't develop as smoothly or as, I don't want to say quickly, but not as intensely if you're just keeping it up. So keeping it a low profile, like the Knight of Pentacles, slow and steady wins the race is the mantra here. Let's take a look at the bottom. 5 of Swords. You don't need to feel like there's a need to compete with others here. Focus on you, focus on your path, focus on your voice. And that is all that I had for you in here today. Message 1. I hope that it serves you well, and I hope to see you in the next video. Bye. Message 2, welcome to your reading. I'm just cleaning up a bit from the previous one. So with you, I'm receiving books. Reading and writing, quite specifically. Reading and writing. reading and writing. And there's something about authorship here. Perhaps some of you have an old dream of pursuing a career as an author, as a writer. This is possible for you. This is possible for you. I'm just going to connect in and feel if there's something more with this, because I feel like there is. You will benefit much from connecting in with a deity that is strongly connected to the arts, to poetry and to writing, or a sort of that is a patron for artists, writers, poets, and such. This can be short form, this can be writing a novel. And for some, I feel like it's just practicing reading books. Because this is something that really benefits you. It's a way to focus your energy, to slow down, to move into other worlds, and to educate yourself. And I feel like you've had the call to do this, but it is quite difficult to overcome the obstacle of putting down your phone, perhaps, and prioritizing reading. Perhaps this is something that you did a lot as a child. Perhaps you haven't been reading that much at all throughout your life, but you feel eager and interested to. Perhaps you have bought a lot of books but are not reading any of them. This is your call. This is your call. So let's take a message of encouragement from the Kali Oracle Pocket Edition. A message of encouragement from the goddess. So you will have different paths with this, just as the previous pile, where some of you will go professional with this and some of you it's just for your own self-development and or enjoyment. But it's good for your brain is what I'm hearing. Chamunda. Knowing what to allow and what to fight for or against requires wisdom. Chamunda is the fearlessness, wisdom, patience, and discipline required to conquer a difficult situation. Chamunda is the power to accomplish what you need and desire. She's with you now. Her presence now portends a truly exceptional breakthrough on your path. This card, I have a history with this card. It always shows up for me to tell me that I need to break some addictive behaviors when it comes to distracting myself. So there you go, that's your message. I feel like we need to take the top one as well. Yuga Shakti. We may yearn for circumstances to unfold according to our personal preferences. Yet to trust in divine timing alleviates stress and fosters a more peaceful relationship with the universe. Even the right thing cannot attain fruition at the wrong time. A negative cycle is due to end and a new dawn shall arise. I'm just going to feel into that message for a moment here, if there's something deeper. This is about a need to let go of control, of how events are to unfold. And this may not apply for those of you who are only doing this for your self-development and recreation here. But for those of you who want to take this professionally, there's a need to let go of control of the timing here, in essence. But if you're having problems with distractions, Put that phone down. Stop looking at tarot readings. No, I'm kidding. Okay, let's flesh this out a bit. We will be asking for advice to begin with from the Oracle of the Mermaids. Imrama. Wander voyage, crossing deep waters, pilgrimage, journey of the soul. This is a transcendent experience for you. And it is important that you let your soul breathe through this practice. Can you explain this in a more clear way? It's about slowing down the pace of your mind, leaning into focused attention. Even if you have ADHD or ADD or something like that, practice focused attention. Alleviate the stress in your brain. And this practice will take you on a journey in your own soul and heart space. I'm feeling like there's something that I'm not connecting with entirely here. This might involve some travel as well. If you will be, perhaps you are reading books about where there are different locations and you feel a desire to visit these locations, or you are going on book tours, visiting book tours. There's something that involves travel with this. Go where the curiousness leads you. Follow your curiosity here. So speaking more about the skill here, we have the Ace of Pentacles in reverse. You have a difficult time starting is what I'm feeling here. And if you can't connect to that at all, what's the message then? It's just not for you. But for those of you who have a difficult time even starting, is there anything else you want to say with that? It gets easier every time you start and make it a regular practice. It gets more and more easy. So it's the hardest right now, but it does get easier. And so how will this benefit you, practicing this skill? We have the Three of Cups. You will meet with like-minded people through different sort of events or experiences that connects you to this practice of reading and or writing. And it will be a very celebratory, wholesome, expansive experience. Very happy, very joyous. It will be like the cream on the icing on the cake is what I think you are saying in the US. So challenges with this practicing this skill and how to overcome them. We have the Page of Swords. Look, books. That's cool. That's very cool. There's something here with these rings also. This is quite specific, but if you're experiencing pain with sitting down a lot, make sure that you get up and moving and making your heart rate go up regularly throughout this practice. Anything else? It's important that the choice of books should be something that expands you and makes your heart and soul and mind grow, or takes you on a journey. Get out of your comfort zone, because the challenge here is to not get complacent, but to stay curious and not thinking that you have read every story, or that this genre is not for me. Get out of your comfort zone here. And that is all that I have for you here today. Thank you so much. I really do hope that you enjoyed it and that we will see each other in the next video. Bye. Message number 3. Welcome to your reading. I'm just cleaning up a bit here from the previous reading. Yours has something to do with textile or fibers or sheep. It's quite specific, isn't it? Textile, fiber, sheep, or nettle fibers. How do you say? Plant fibers, hemp fibers. There's something to do with textile here. I feel that you are being called to work with perhaps knitting, crocheting, creating your own yarns, creating textile art, felting, or just handling wool, processing that. So developing skill around that, whatever is applicable for you here. Dyeing textile, dyeing yarns, something around this area. That's very interesting. So we will begin with an encouraging message from Kali Oracle. Making your own garments, creating your own patterns. Oh, there's something very, very specific coming through here. It's like creating these little crochet figures or foods and selling on a place like Etsy or something. That was very, 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 what's the name? Specific. Perhaps it relates to someone. So an encouraging message from Kali. This reminded me that when I was into knitting, I had a book with Star Wars knitting. And it's something about being very particular with your craft here. For some of you, if that resonates with you. For some of you, it's more so expanding and exploring different styles or procedures, or so some of you are being more so asked and called to hone in very specifically on your unique thing, and some of you are meant to more widen more, explore more and further. So you received Dhumavati. Certain endings are unavoidable. They are necessary precursors to radical reinvention. Any disappointment, defeat, or loss, and the negative repercussions of such experiences will not limit your future happiness, but are opening up yet unrecognized pathways for fulfillment. Your trust must be unconditional at this time, and later you shall see that everything has worked out for the absolute best. So I'm connecting in here to feel into what the general message is for some of you. For some here, this will actually not apply. But for those of you who are supposed to receive this message, I'm feeling into this here. It's about being brave and moving on to new experiences when the old ones doesn't feel suitable or right or fun anymore. This is for some of you. For others, you require more discipline, to rely more on your discipline and not on your motivation. Okay. We will begin with an advice from Oracle of the Mermaids. Let's take the bottom card here. Atlantis. Rapid development, excellence, success. There is success on this path. This is something that you can create into a business. Perhaps you watched my previous reading and chose the message in which you were called to develop a hobby into business. Perhaps not, it doesn't matter. But there is success on this path, and I see you creating for more people than yourself. And if it's not related to business, it's creating to friends and family, making gifts and such. Or helping one in your family. Perhaps you have a family business, or you are helping a family member with their business. There's something there. But you have a very promising future with this. And it's almost as so promising that you perhaps not feel the motivation to dive into this practice as much as you could. This will resonate only for some here. Some of you needs to be challenged more in order to stay interested here. I feel like this may have been something from past lifetimes or from your family line. So there's something inherent in you that is very skilled at this. Let's move on. So we are fleshing out this skill. Anything else we need to know about this? How it will benefit you, and challenges and how to overcome them. Oh my God. Oh my God. We have the Eight of Cups, and there is a ladybug woman in here. And when my mother passed away a while ago, I was being told that she would come to me through ladybugs. And she was very, very skilled with textile, with knitting, and she was excellent at making and creating clothes. She was so good, and she started very, very early, at the age of like 5 or 6 or something like that. And I'm wondering here if she has a message for you. And we also have these dragonflies, which are a symbol of my grandmother, from which she was gifted this skill as well, because my grandmother was very adept with sewing and knitting also. So it's something, definitely something with the family line here. It's inherent in here. I'm wondering if there's any more message, in particular from these two women, my mother and my grandmother. They just wanted to point out this family connection here. And it can sometimes stand in the way if we have people before us that have done the same thing. It can aid us, and it can also stand in our way. And just be aware of how it does that, and you can explore this on your own if there are some obstacles with you having someone in your family line also doing this sort of thing. And there's something about the path here. What's that? There's still much to learn. You might be very skilled, but there is still much to learn here, and still much to go deeper into. You can really become a master of this if you desire to. So how will this benefit you practicing this skill? We have the star in reverse. I'm actually feeling called to look up the meaning in reverse in the guidebook in here. Continued conflict, hopelessness, absence of faith. What do you want to say about that? Let's draw a new card. Three of Swords in reverse. Healing. It's healing. Healing something that has been broken and can now be mended. And it doesn't necessarily have to do with this skill per se, but it is how this skill connects you to other things and to other people. So moving through this experience, especially if you have family members, ancestors, people in your family line, going on this path together in some sense, even though it is just in spirit, will lead to healing of some sort of unresolved conflict here. And it may sound a bit out there, but trust us on that. Okay, so challenges and how to overcome them. The High Priestess. The challenge here is that there is more to this. There is more to practicing this skill than is revealed on the surface. And I feel like you have some knowing of this. Perhaps it is just a gut feeling and you can't really place the feeling. But that's what it is. That's what it is. And so knowing that there's more depth to this. And perhaps that makes it feel complicated. But it is a mystery that wants to be revealed to you through the path that you are taking with practicing this skill. There's something more coming through here. I'm just connecting in. For some people, this is about taking this into art and having a sort of exhibition in an art gallery as well, having that as a goal. Perhaps you already have that. And this practice will help you keep your focus and discipline on that goal at the end of summer or something like that. I feel like there's something more with the High Priestess here. I feel like there's so much in the history of this, so much in the history of this that is waiting to be revealed. So perhaps you also feel called to do some how do you say this in English? You know, when you are looking back at your ancestors and studying your ancestry line, perhaps there's a specific word for that I don't know. Is there anything else? That is all. That is all for you, group number 3. I really hope that you enjoyed this reading and that you come back for the next one. Take care. Bye.